It's been a minute since I had a chance to kick it with you, you know what I'm saying? I kind of been gone for a minute, but I'm motherfucking back.
Y'all call it T.I., I call it Tip.
T.I., you know what I'm saying? I know he original street dude, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, some dudes started yip-yapping over the situations when that heat got on him. So, like a strong man, he just took that fit off.
Well, Mr. Harris, like everyone, is presumed innocent, but we were quite confident when we brought the charges that he was in fact guilty.
I think he just needed to make wiser choices about who he trusted and who he put close to him.
The bodyguard was attempting to get the weapons originally from a gun store, and when approached was redirected to someone who unfortunately for both the bodyguard and Mr. Harris turned out to be an undercover ATF agent.
When I first heard it, I thought it was a joke. And then I realized it was serious. And I'm like, oh man.
Look, with some gangsters, man, we're gonna keep it mild. You know, that situation, we're gonna treat it like spilled milk.
T.I. should have been a little smarter in, his approach, to maybe, trusting somebody who had a bad situation who, probably may have fabricated a lot of the shit that he did and brought T.I. up in it.
The investigation came out of a tip that a person was trying to buy machine guns. When that person was arrested, I believe it was October 10th of 2007, he was asked why he was buying the guns, and at that point he explained that he was a bodyguard for Mr. Harris and that he was buying machine guns for Mr. Harris. It was only at that point that Mr. Harris came into the investigation. The ATF agents took that where it led, which was to not take the bodyguard's word for it, but to engage in tape-recorded, monitored conversations, and that led to Mr. Harris agreeing to receive the guns, I think 3 days later, at which point he was arrested.
As we said at the time of his arrest, Mr. Harris was never the original target of this investigation. We followed where the evidence led, where the leads led, and it ended up following and leading to Mr. Harris. We're gratified that this case was resolved so quickly, and we're also pleased to see that the defendant has taken responsibility for his criminal actions. ATF does not care what your name is or what you do for a living. If a criminal decides to violate the federal firearms laws in the United States, then he or she should not be surprised to find the ATF or law enforcement investigating that crime.
But today, we're going to find out, what the courts want to do with the king, see if we're going to go ahead and let him get on these streets and get back to doing what we do best, and that's making this music.
Clifford Harris has now admitted that he is guilty of the serious federal firearms charges with which he was charged. The next step is to determine an appropriate sentence. He has asked, and we in the court have agreed, that his sentencing be deferred for a year. Mr. Harris is going to remain under very strict bond conditions for the next year. If he performs his community service as expected and lives up to the many other obligations of his bond and plea agreement, then he will still receive a substantial sentence for the crimes he committed. A year in federal prison, 3 years of supervised release, including a year of home detention, a total of 1,500 hours of community service, and a $100,000 fine.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with the second chance at life and success. With the utmost respect and sincerity, I'm grateful that the court and the government has given me a chance as a part of my sentence to help kids live safe, be productive, and avoid making the same mistakes I've made. I realize completely that I violated the law, and I accept that I must be punished. I take it very seriously. The most important thing to me is that I can turn this negative time in my life right now into a positive. While I'm not looking forward to being incarcerated, I am looking forward to putting this whole ordeal behind me. I realize I have a very long road of redemption to travel, and I intend to do just that. I am dedicated and committed to making a difference in the lives of our young people today. and I really do appreciate the opportunity.
Tim, can you say why were you buying some of them? Were you worried about your safety?
I'm so sorry. I can't make any comments to that effect.
What will you say to the youth then?
He will not be answering
I'm
questions.
sorry, I can't do that
At this time, but there will be opportunities in the future. He can perform, he can carry on his business, he can do his records, he can act in movies, he can make public appearances, do all of the things that he could do before until the end of this 12-month period, at which time he will then deal with the rest of his sentence. Say that this is a just and fair sentence. The government feels that way, obviously the court does, and certainly we do.
It's fair, it's reasonable, it's what should happen here, and therefore it's the right thing to do.
I want to thank everybody at the court. I'm just saying that because that's what I hear everybody else say, but at the end of the day, I'm glad my man out. My nigga Alpha Mega, back to business. Everybody, we finna make money. Fuck all you haters that thought it was over. Ha ha! No, it ain't over.
Laugh again.
Ha ha! And we taking this comedy tour on the road. You gonna see us on MTV, Alpha Mega, Capital Records.
They know. They know.
Let them know, baby. It's going down, baby. I'm telling you, I'm so happy right now. I'm lost of words, real talk.
Oh, y'all know the show's sold out, right?
Sold out. We want 1 million. We want 1 million a show. We want 1 million a show, but you can talk to me. I get it for $999,000.
Yo, T.I. got one hell of a dream team, man. I want to know how much he paid them dudes, man. That's the type of legal assistance I need, man, you know? But other than that, if you haven't been under the tree or you ain't been listening to what's going on, T.I. and Shorty Low, they have been subliminally going after each other for the last, for a moment now. So, after everybody left the courthouse, I had a chance to chop it up with a couple of Grand Hustle members, Alpha Omega and Clay, and see what's going on with the T.I. Shorty Low situation. Let's see what they had to say.